So here we have a PTZ. This is a glass domed PTZ without IR. And when you receive it, the proper way to use it is first, when you open it out of the box, you look at it for any labels. Here we've been actually putting labels on the top, reminding people to remove the protective foam cover inside the camera. If you don't remove what's inside, you're going to break your PTZ. So there's an Allen key provided inside of the PTZ accessories. You'll find there being a silver accessory in there, an Allen key just like this. You could use that to open it, and only this. Do not use a power-driven screwdriver or a drill, because it will strip the screws. The only time we see these screws being stripped is when someone uses a drill. So if you strip your screw, that means because you didn't follow that directions there. So once you have unscrewed the 3 screws on your PTZ dome, you lift it off and you will find a foam inside. So if your model happens to have a foam, remove that. In this case, we've already removed it. There would be a foam ring inside along the PTZ just for packaging. And then the other thing you want to do is make sure you remove this tape. So this tape is just put in there so that the lens carrot doesn't move around during shipping, especially when it's being shipped from the factory overseas. But once you're ready to start using the camera, make sure you remove all of this tape off so that your camera can move freely and none of the mechanics inside will break. Once you've removed any of the foam that's inside and the tape adhesive, put the dome cover back on. Make sure you screw it back on using the Allen key. Make sure it's tight enough so that there is no water penetration back inside. If you happen to remove the gasket while removing the dome, this gasket is very important in creating a good secure seal so the camera happens to be weather resistant based on the standard that it's set to be per the specifications. Not correctly affixing the dome back will leave the PTZ vulnerable to weather penetration, corrosion, and for it to fail. So make sure you put that back on correctly. And once you've done that as a first step, you should bench test the camera before you go and mount it. So here, I have the camera using the foam that's on the top of the camera. You'll find this foam piece on the top of the camera. When you open the box, it actually has a bracket inside. I've removed all that, but I put it upside down so I can test it and show it on video. The first step after making sure you removed any of the foam piece and other plastic inside is to put power terminals on here. This camera has a lot of things going on in the pigtail, but the only 2 pertinent parts here, since this is a HD over coax camera, and namely an HD CVI, is the BNC, which is inside of a heat shrinkable plastic. I suggest not using heat shrink for that, just use electrical tape. Don't use a heat gun to heat shrink that. This is for your BNC video, going back to your DVR, and these 2 are for your power wires. The power wire here should always, sometimes when we test the PTZs, we'll put a female power terminal on right now. I'm going to do that. I'll show you before and after, so I'm going to put one here. The red is positive and black is negative in a DC voltage PTZ camera. So a 12 volt DC camera, the red and the black is going to matter. So you're going to put the red in the positive and black in the negative. You can see that there are marks on there. All right. In a 24 volt PTZ, it doesn't really matter which one you put in, but just to be on the safe side or to remain the same practice, be in a good habit, we're just going to put the red in the positive and black in the negative. On the power supply, a power supply that looks large like this and actually says output 24 volts AC, this is AC current, so there's no polarity to it again. And you'll find 2 black tip wires. What you can do is, usually in DC current, a stripe wire is positive or red is positive. So I'm going to do the same convention. Now I'm going to put the stripe wire into the positive on this one and the not unstriped wire, the solid one, into the negative. This is a male DC power terminal and this is a female. The male goes in the power supply, the female goes on the camera, so you can create a good connection. I'm going to do that and show you the after. So I'm back here about to screw in the wire into the terminal. The important thing to take from this segment is make sure that you don't have excess wire sticking out of your power terminal. Otherwise, they're going to touch each other and short out. So I'm just doing a bench test, and that's what you should be doing at this point before going to install your camera, just to assure yourself the PTZ works fine. Move it around, because a lot of times what we find is people have installed the PTZ and they encounter difficulties because of wiring issues and others. Other issues they have with grounding, where they put it, or even the power that they're supplying from the circuit that they're supplying the power from. And these are very common issues we encounter, and people don't heed the advice that you need to test your PTZ before mounting it to ensure that you understand that it works, and any of the other issues you encounter happen to be with the environment you're installing it in. So now I've installed my connector on the power supply, and I'm pulling it apart. They're not pulling it apart. This is a good connection. There's no excess wire showing. Make sure yours looks the same. Now on the PTZ side, I'm going to put the female power terminal on. I'm going to first make sure I twist these wires together to make a good clean connection. I already know this might be a little longer than what can go into the terminal, so I'm going to basically curl them up a little bit and then loosen the power terminal and then connect it inside. Now these principles that we've covered so far apply to all of our dome PTZ cameras that have a glass dome cover, beginning from removing the inside foam piece if your PTZ has one, the plastic lens piece protection for the actual camera module inside, and so forth. So depending on how much excess wire you have, you may need to cut some of it off. And that's what I'm going to end up doing, because here I still have excess showing, and you don't want to make a connection like this because it's going to end up short-circuiting and frying the camera. So I cut off a little bit of excess, and now I'm able to insert this wire without any difficulty. It sits very securely, and I'm going to make sure I tighten this. And if you're in the field and you're actually putting this outdoors, some cameras are being used indoors, some are outside. So if you're ever putting a male or female power terminal on, in this case as in our PTZ, if it's outside, you can use electrical tape or shrink wrap. Electrical tape is more economical, and just make sure you wrap it enough so that this whole piece here is completely covered from the elements, so you won't have any short-circuiting of power. We've got a good connection, not coming off easily. Same thing here. And now if I connect these two together for power, that's AC power, and then I've got my BNC video, I am going to connect my PTZ here to my power supply and it'll turn on. But let's make sure we don't make the rookie mistake. Gotta make sure you remove your plastic cover. It goes all back to that. So this has been our tutorial on how to get started once you receive your dome PTZ, how to make sure you remove any foam cover again, plastic inside, connect your power terminals, and then connect it to power. Once that's on, we have many tutorials on how to follow the DVR menus to use your PTZ to control it, set patterns, etc. So again, all you need with our HD over coax is, if you're controlling with a DVR, you need a wire for the BNC for video, a power wire, and you can use male and female power terminals to connect the power supply. There are power considerations in play, so that's all you need to control with the DVR. If you're using a PTZ joystick, in our other tutorials we show you that you need a RS485 connection, and you need a 2-lead wire for that, and this orange and yellow wire is the data connection for RS485 serial data to go in between a PTZ controller and the PTZ itself. Otherwise, if you're using just the DVR and the app on it, you can simply just use the HDCVI method, which sends data over your BNC video. So all you need is a BNC wire for video and a 2-lead wire for power. That's where our Siamese wire comes in, and both will run together. That's the advantage of having a Siamese wire. Thanks for watching.